As I headed into a church building to lead a worship gathering for a bunch of Christians, I noticed the guy who lives right next door to the church. He was up on his pool deck doing some fall pool maintenance. He didn't even look up as I walked into the church. Why would he? Why would church, even the one right next door to him, interest him at all? I obviously had no way of knowing how long he'd lived there. After all, I was just the visiting pulpit supply. But my guess is he's seen hundreds, maybe thousands, head into that church building on Sunday mornings. The big question? How does that church capture that guy's attention? He is their mission. Their building is right next door to his house. Their parking lot butts up against his yard. He is their neighbor, and he couldn't care less. But this church isn't alone. So many churches seem unable to figure out how to interest people around us in what we are doing. The truth of the matter? We have no idea how to relate to people outside the church. We live in our bubble and expect the world to come to us. My wife and I recently started watching Utopia. It's a reality TV show where they drop 12 people inside a 5-acre compound with minimal supplies and shelter. Their job? To build their own utopia. One of the cast members is a Pentecostal preacher who stated out loud that he is doing this for the sake of the gospel. He's after converts and baptisms. He was totally lost and in tears and freaked out by day 2. The other cast members don't exactly share the vision of a Christ-centered utopia. One is an avowed atheist, another is really into New Age, and still another spends her early mornings before nature. So when they all decided to swim naked together, it sent this preacher over the edge. At one point, he prayed to the Lord, telling him this was hard, that he only knew Christians back home, had no idea what he's getting himself into. To be honest, he looks pretty pathetic on the show. But I'm not sure how different most of us are from him. We don't know how to relate to people who believe differently than we do. We're scared and totally out of touch with how the rest of the world lives their lives. Flea markets are among my wife's top 10 favorite things to do. So one night, I told her I'd go with her to the all-night flea market near where we live. We weren't prepared for the experience. Within minutes, I saw a guy with antlers on his head wearing a chest-bearing turquoise chenille woman's bathrobe. Seriously, the independent filmmakers aisle showcased horror and sleaze, to put it mildly. It wasn't exactly the antique fest that Pam had anticipated. Nothing lined up with our idea of the normal world. And that's when we realized this is exactly where Jesus would have been, among the harassed and helpless and weird. Ezekiel 22:30 says this, "I looked for someone among them who would build up the wall and stand before me in the gap on behalf of the land, so I would not have to destroy it, but I found no one." The world is full of gaps. Poverty, prostitution, abuse, broken families, corrupt government, injustice, despair, hopelessness. God is looking for someone to stand in the gaps and do something. And here's the thought that came to my mind as I walked toward a man standing next to a glass-cased alien holding a big sign assuring me that UFOs are real. How can the Church of Jesus infiltrate this tribe? How can the Church of Jesus infiltrate any tribe that's foreign to us? How can we stand in the gaps? Only by taking a risk, stepping out, and being willing to go.